What will it take for humankind to finally wake up to the simple fact that we are all one? Oneness is the fundamental truth. 13.8 billion years ago, every atom in existence began as one. We've all emerged out of the same one infinite source. Zooming out to the bigger picture, it's obvious how interconnected we all are on this pale blue dot floating through the vastness of space. But it seems that humanity in the modern era has completely forgotten this most fundamental truth of oneness. We're still going to war with each other. All around the world, we find social, political, and economic upheaval, and we can't even agree on saving our own planet. Einstein once said that no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness in which it was created. In this video, I'm going to share why, for the problems we now face today, we need a mass shift in consciousness. And it's more than just a nice idea. This is a matter of survival. The sad reality of the situation is that, as a species, we are now in a race between awakening and apocalypse. Either we evolve, or inevitably, over the long term, we will self-destruct. But the good news is that a mass shift in consciousness is happening. Maybe you know this and feel this deep down in your own way. We live in truly unprecedented times of great change and transformation. And as a matter of fact, ancient people from around the world, from the ancient Mayans to the ancient Egyptians, foretold of these very times of great change and awakening. In this video, we're going to look at some of these ancient prophecies of the future evolution of humankind, the Great Awakening, and I'm going to offer you hope that in these times of crisis, there is great opportunity for something new and incredible and beautiful to emerge. Welcome back to Cosmic Consciousness. My name is Jonas, and 2 years ago on this channel, I actually made a video called 10 Predictions for the Great Awakening of Humanity. So far, just about every one of those predictions has been accurate. But here's the key idea. A great awakening is the next evolutionary step for humankind. It's almost like we're experiencing a collective dark night of the soul, where some things that are no longer working have to break down in order for us to break through. Just like the transformation of caterpillar to butterfly, in some senses the caterpillar must break down, must die, in order to create the possibility of a miracle of evolution and transformation, the emergence of the butterfly. And I believe that this is what we're seeing over the years and decades and centuries to come for the human collective. Now, as I previously mentioned, my friends, it is truly incredible how accurately our ancestors from around the world predicted and foretold of exactly what we're experiencing in the modern age, and how many prophecies there are on this very topic from around the world. Many of us are familiar with the Mayan calendar, which famously predicted that around the year 2012 would be a time of great change. But beyond the ancient Mayans, we find similar prophecies all around the world, from ancient Egypt to ancient India to Australia to Mesopotamia to South America, the Incan civilization, to the American Indians in North America, on just about every continent of the world. And all of these ancient indigenous people say essentially the same things. To illustrate what I mean, consider the prophecy of Thoth, which comes out of ancient Egypt. It's also known in ancient Greece as the Hermetic prophecy. And it goes as follows. There will come a time when it will have been in vain that Egyptians have honored the Godhead with heartfelt piety and service. They will no longer love this world around us, this incomparable work of God. Darkness will be preferred to light, and death will be thought more profitable than life. The madman will be thought a brave man, and the wicked will be esteemed as good. As for the soul and the belief that it is immortal by nature, all this they will mock, and even persuade themselves that it is false. But when all of this has befallen, then God, the creator of all things, will look on that which has come to pass and will stop the disorder by the counterforce of his will, which is the good. Such is the new birth of the cosmos. It is a making again of all things good, a holy and awe-striking restoration of all nature. If you ask me, it's pretty impressive how accurately this prophecy from thousands of years ago characterizes the human condition in the modern age. Now, a few thousand miles away in North America, the Hopi Indians have a very similar prophecy that's called the Return of the Rainbow Warriors, and it goes as follows. When the earth is ravaged and the animals are dying, a new tribe of people shall come unto the earth from many colors, classes, creeds, and who by their actions and deeds shall make the earth green again. They will be known as warriors of the rainbow. They will reteach the values and the knowledge that has been lost in time, and the great trees that perished will return almost overnight. They say this is the hardest time to live, but it is also the greatest honor to be alive and see this. In many ways, the return of the Rainbow Warriors sounds similar to the prophecy of Thoth, but I could keep going because there really are more and more of these prophecies. The Aboriginal people out of ancient Australia shared what's known as the Uluru Prophecy. In South America, the Amazon basin, indigenous people there have what's known as the prophecy of the eagle and the condor, a time of great unification and reconnection. So again, all over the world, separated by thousands of miles, we find ancient people sharing the exact same message of humanity's descent into darkness and re-emergence, reconnection with spiritual wisdom. Not only is this amazing, I mean, how is this even possible that people separated so far in time and space are predicting the exact same things? It seems that this idea of the Great Awakening has been swirling in the human collective consciousness for thousands of years. And more recently, you may have heard of the New Age movement. I mean, think about that name for a second, the New Age movement. In the modern era, many spiritual teachers around the world have been speaking about this idea of the Great Awakening. Eckhart Tolle speaks about it in his book, The New Earth. Dolores Cannon famously spoke about the Great Awakening. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, spoke about this. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi is another famous spiritual teacher who is vocal about this Great Awakening of humankind. So while these times are extremely challenging and at times distressing, they're also very exciting. I truly believe that this is a sacred time to be alive. Please stay strong, my friends, because the true change does not begin out there. It begins within. It begins within each one of us. Ramana Maharshi, the famous Indian mystic, once said, "Your own self-realization is the greatest service you can render the world." As we find higher states of consciousness within us, this helps to spread higher consciousness in the collective. It has a ripple effect because we're all interconnected. I've said it before and I'll say it again. World peace begins within each one of us. And that is a perspective worth bringing with us as we move into an exciting and very uncertain future. If you enjoyed this video, please visit me on Patreon where you can support me in making videos just like this one. I appreciate you all so very much, and I'll see you back here very soon.